Hello everyone. Operator Starsky here, and my good buddy Max. Can you hear us well? That's a very important question because my microphone tends to run away all the time. Howdy, internet people. It's very nice to see you tonight. And today I decided to bring my friend from the front lines, directly from the area of Bakhmut. He's alive, which makes me very, very happy, of course, because I don't have many subordinates. And today we will discuss several topics. Okay, I can see that the sound is perfect. Again, we're streaming from Ukraine, that's why interruptions are expected, as well as lags, as well as all kinds of crazy shit you can imagine. Unfortunately, Fudge decided not to join us. He will be moderating this stream, which means that he will basically be sleeping and eating and sleeping. This is how he does moderation usually. Okay, so today, and before we start, by the way, I would like to shout our mercenary moderator Jeanine, who decided to start fundraising for metal detectors for Ukrainian defenders. Please make sure that you click that link in the description of this video, because it's very, very important. And again, before we start, I would like to say a couple of things about today's date, because today we have 25th of April, and exactly 37 years. Oh my god. So 37 years ago, on the night between 25th and 26th of April, Chernobyl catastrophe started. And it's a very, very sad date for Ukrainians. Not only Ukrainians, but today we're lighting candles here in Ukraine. My dad does that as well. And we memorize everybody, all the liquidators, everybody who gave their health and their life while eliminating the results of this horrible catastrophe. So I think it's very important to remember those people, because out of my dad's regiment, I believe several people are still alive, including my dad. MH is Pasha also there? No, he's not. He's visiting his relatives, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And probably he will join us some other time. I don't know why camera looks so ugly. Is it because there's me in the camera? I have no idea. Does it look okay to you?
Yes.
Okay. Probably because of me. Eliana Freely, respect to your father Starsky, my gratitude, please tell him. Thank you so much. I hope that he will be watching this stream as well, and I hope that he will be able to read your commentaries as well. What do you think of the Freedom for Russia Legion volunteering to fight for Ukraine against orcs? They have nothing but my respect. Camera is good. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Because for me, I look kind of blurry and bald and old and ugly and depressed. Like, what happens? Anyways, today we will talk about several things that happened this week. Specifically in the past 24 hours, more than 600 Russian orcs decided to meet their great-grandparents, and Ukrainian defenders helped them big time in this regard. You need to shave. Basically, yeah. And one thing that I found very, very interesting today is the fact that Prigozhin ordered not to take prisoners alive anymore. We can see this interesting shift from, like, when they only invaded, they were making plenty of videos of taking Ukrainian prisoners or treating them, giving them medical treatment and stuff. And in a year, we can see that their psyops changed completely. Now they're beheading Ukrainian soldiers and taking no prisoners. It's probably because their 3-day war took a bit more longer than expected. By the way, Jeanine asks, why do you look stoned?
Тому що я стомлений, мабуть.
He's very tired. I would like to be stoned myself, actually, if I could afford that. My God. The other day I was surfing my YouTube, and for some reason, in the related videos, there was this video of like alcoholic hangover. Like, what happens to your body during the alcoholic hangover? Which is a very, like, it's an important topic because according to the author of this video, approximately each 10th American that day was feeling hangover or something like that. I watched all the video, which took almost like 20 minutes. I watched it completely from A to Z, which, like, it made absolutely no sense because I don't drink since like 2021 at all. But sometimes, YouTube brings you all kinds of crazy stuff. Like this chimpanzee grooming a person or something like that. I think it's absolutely amazing. Funny cats. Deb, don't drink. Alcohol is the most dangerous drug. I agree on that. The last time we were drinking, I believe that it was the time when I broke my rib at the concert.
Concert, rock group.
Space of
Variation.
No. There was like we also made pictures with the musicians.
Yes.
Hell On, White Ward.
Well, I don't remember. I forgot.
Ginger. Was there Ginger? Space of Variations.
Space Odyssey.
I think so. It was really cool. Sea turtles having their shells cleaned the other day. Oh my god. I gotta watch that one. Yeah. Prigozhin. Oh my god. Can you imagine Prigozhin being a next president of Russia? I can totally see that. I mean, no. He won't be president, and I will tell you why. I have scientific explanation why Prigozhin will never be a president of Russia, at least not in the nearest 10 years. Take a look at this. Just a second, and you will understand what I'm talking about. So let's say Brezhnev, right? Look, that's Brezhnev. He is hairy, as you see. Next one was Gorbachev.
Андропов також був.
Андропов був перед Брежневим.
Після.
Ні.
Андропов був після Брежнєва.
Може бути. Anyways, so Gorbachev, he's bald. Now check this out. Yeltsin. You see? Hairy. Who was next? It was Putin, right? He's bald. After Putin, around 2008, there was Medvedev.
Угу.
He's hairy again. Next one was Putin, right? And Putin is bald. So I believe, and it's scientifically proved, that the next president of the Russian Federation will be hairy. I believe so. And you will remember my words. And I think if Navalny is alive that time, even though I don't really like Navalny, but he's hairy, so he has a chance to become a president of Russia. But it's not the main topic of our discussion today. Today we will talk about this man known as... Oh my god, no. It's not the man. I'm very, very sorry. Guys, I'm very sorry. This is the man. So, this man is known as Dying Horse, also Depressive Donkey, also Sergei Lavrov, Minister of Foreign Minister of Russia, and currently he chairs the Security Council of the United Nations. And the reason he does that is because they have this crazy procedure when all the countries, according to the number of alphabet, according to the name of their country, you know what I mean. So they pass this chair to each other. And the last time Russia was chairing the Security Council of Ukraine, Security Council of Ukraine. Oh my god.
Oh.
The Security Council of the United Nations in, I think it was January 2022. So like prior to the invasion of Ukraine, they were chairing the Security Council of the United Nations. And this year they are chairing the Security Council of the United Nations since the April Fool Day, since 1st of April, in Security Council, exactly. So yesterday, this individual had a speech in the United Nations. I'm not sure if you saw it. But if you did, like you, I don't blame you. You didn't learn anything new, and probably you wasted several minutes of your life for nothing. And usually, I don't call people to listen to Russian propagandists much, because what they say makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But at the same time, I decided to analyze what was the point of his speech, because basically he was blaming West, he was justifying their invasion and shit like that. Like nothing new, right? The Nazi Ukrainian regime and
Molotov style.
yeah. But I decided to understand for myself, like, whom this speech was directed to or at. And I made, I have a text version of what he said, basically. So he said, we have reached a dangerous, possibly even more dangerous threshold. What he means is, stop doing what you are doing, or you will die. It will be very, very bad. And I believe just a couple of days ago, Medvedev had some kind of similar speech. Like, we have nuclear weapons and we can kill everybody and destroy the world because we don't care. Like, that's exactly the way this nuclear weapon is supposed to be used. The situation has been worsened by the loss of faith in multilateralism, which means many different opinions. Multilateralism. Holy sh! I know the meaning of the word, but I cannot read it because I'm stupid. As the financial and economic aggression of the West is destroying the benefits of globalization. So he says, you don't want to listen to Russia, which is bad. And you don't want to listen to our opinion, which is very bad. And you don't want to accept what we are doing, which is awful. And of course, because he talks in general about sanctions, about economic war, it means that it bothers them. It actually bothers them. When the US and its allies are abandoning diplomacy and demanding relations be clarified on the battlefield. Basically, don't support Ukrainians, let them die, let us kill Ukrainians peacefully, and everything will be okay. Do you smell terrorism? This is all done in the halls of the and this one, I think, is the most hilarious part of his speech, because I completely agree with this one. I honestly do. He says, this is all done in the halls of the United Nations, which was created to prevent horrors of war. I completely agree on that. United Nations and basically Security Council of Ukraine, except for saying that they support Ukraine, using words. uh, they don't do much to prevent the horrors of war, which were inflicted and which were delivered by Russian invaders to Ukraine. I completely agree on that. United Nations Organization of United Nations was in fact created to prevent the horrors of war. Except that they probably never knew that Russia will be chairing this Security Council one day. Oh my god. Oh, and Max, RK Kristalovich says, it's good to see you.
Mm.
My name is no one's business. Spice Girls. Who mentioned Spice Girls? Spice Girls rocks. What cracks me up about Lavrov? January 2022. He says, Russia will never, and you imagine this horse face. He's like, Russia is not going to invade Ukraine. It's absolutely ridiculous. Stop this hysteria. Russia is not going to invade. We are a peaceful nation. Then, like February 2022, we didn't invade. We didn't invade nobody. We are not at war. Then this recent meeting with a recent economic meeting last year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, we try to protect Russia from Ukraine. And currently he says that he actually blames NATO that cannot save the world from the horrors of war. Worst thing is that there are people who believe in this shit. It's like there are three levels of Russian supporters. There are exactly three levels of Russian supporters. There's like people who say you should negotiate, you should stop fighting, you should stop arming Ukrainians and blah blah because we need to prevent victims. I don't know why I used Russian accent speaking this, but anyways. And usually when you say that Ukrainians are defending themselves because they don't want to die, they break at this point. Second level of supporters of Russian terrorism is he's not sleeping, he's scrolling phone.
Да.
Yeah. Second level of Russian supporters is like we need to I care about Ukrainians so much. I swear, I saw such people. I care about Ukrainians so much. If I don't support Ukraine, it doesn't mean that I support Putin. And actually, I support Ukraine. I care about Ukrainians very, very, very much. I don't want them to die. That's why they should stop fighting. And you're like, what the fuck? And yes, we need to stop this war. And you go, but why can't Ukrainians defend themselves? And at this point they break again, but then they check like Russia Today or their favorite Russian blog and or media resource, and they go, oh, well, it's because Ukrainians had a coup. Ukraine doesn't exist. They have biolabs and shit like that. And then there's level 3, which is basically like hardcore employed Russian troll who knows all kinds of shit. Those are tough. Basically, if you can persuade first level of Russian supporters, second and third, they're like they're hopeless. RK, we don't want Lavrov, we want fudge. Oh, Raven has a
Oh.
question for you.
Окей.
What is Starsky like as a boss?
Що Старський любить?
Ні. Як я тобі як начальник?
О, it's great boss. Sexual, strong, или интеллигентный, как?
Intelligent.
Intelligent, yes. More sexual, but good boss. Yes, of course.
Take a cookie. Yeah, thanks, bro. I love you too. I don't want you, but I love you as a brother. Yeah, and we have another. Oh, Martin 13. Hey,
Mhm.
Starsky, greetings from Amsterdam Oblast. Why is it like? Why is it so funny in a good way? I mean, if you want to crack Ukrainians up and make them like you instantly, name your oblast. I don't know why it works this way, but it's really cool. So another very important question from our viewers is regarding our future gigolo business with Brandon Mitchell. And if you will work together with Pasha.
Yes. Ну, типу я працював з тим і з тим.
Ні, ми про жиголо бізнес.
I am freelancer in Gigolo business. Yes, work with Pasha, work with Brandon. We work together on Donbass. Як пояснити, що роботи на Донбасі багато, it's work.
There's a lot of work in Donbass,
Yes,
actually.
yes.
Yeah. I think we should employ Brandon more into this. I mean, I know he is envious because I will obviously be making much more money than him. But we can do something about it. Eliana freely says about saying oblast, it's because it says we are all Ukraine. If I could, I would hug you right now. Nancy, we have business plan, by the way. We already have business plan. Tom Lobos, Gigolo business will be started by the second Boom Boom fund, I guess.
Boom boom.
Okay.
Okay.
The Shields have this this fundraiser for drones, and when you donate for drones, you add this hashtag Boom Boom.
Boom boom. Orcs. Boom boom.
Nice, I like it. Brandon will be the manager. So, Nelly, I believe that I can be the manager because I'm captain. You're captain as well.
Yes. I'm captain too.
But Brandon is not.
No.
Okay.
He's soldier.
Yeah, it's solved. So we made a shout for metal detectors, and another shout out I would like to make is regarding brother of Max. So brother of Max joined the territorial defense, and we learned that soon they will be relocated to the front lines to some sketchy span of the front lines. And today Max delivered his helmet to his brother. And obviously he will need some more equipment. So we decided to collect some money to buy gear for Max's brother. So if you want to support him, again, please check out description to this video because there is Max's PayPal attached. Max's bro, say a couple of words about your bro.
Давай я буду казати українською, щоб
Давай.
може пояснити людям, щоб більш точно видав свої думки. Так.
I will be translating.
Окей. Мій брат, нещодавно дізнався, що мій брат буде виїжджати в одну з найгарячіших точок на фронті.
Recently he found out that his brother will be departing towards one of the most dangerous spans of the front line.
Може, тому ви бачите, що я не сплю, я живий, все нормально, просто у мене думки зараз зайняті саме братом.
That's why you probably notice my face, but it's not because I'm sleeping, it's because I think about my bro.
Він дуже добре відкрита людина, в своєму роді геній, тому що знає 4-3 мови, не те, що я, і займається побудовою дронів.
He's a very kind and open person. He is very smart because he knows 3 or 4 languages, unlike me, and he's very clever and he builds drones.
Так, і дізнаюся, що він їде на фронт, і для мене це, звісно, шок.
So he learned that his bro will go to the front lines and he's kind of shocked.
Зрозумійте мене правильно, просто коли, наприклад, я пройшов і Рубіжний, Сєвєродонецьк, і Бахмут, і Лиман, і так далі, то за себе переживаєш, звісно, менше. Коли ти знаєш, що твій брат, рідня іде саме в таке ж пекло, то це сприймається зовсім по-іншому.
It's like when you survived through Rubizhne and Severodonetsk and Svetlodarsk, basically. You don't really care as much about yourself as about your relatives, because when you learn that they will participate in the same kind of shit, it makes you kind of worried. What is his name, by the way?
Ігор.
Igor.
Name Ігор.
Is he he's not your younger, he's your older brother, right?
Yes, yeah. Older brother.
But he's like a kid.
Yes, він як дитина, грубо кажучи. Проблема його те, що є люди, які сприймають світ максимально по-дитячому, наївно, по-доброму. А ви, як розумієте, як я розумію, як ви, я думаю, розумієте, що це не найкращі риси характеру для військового. Військовий повинен бути прагматичним, холоднокровним, тобто таким.
I'm trying to write his name into the chat. Igor. So Max said that he's very open and he has this childish, naive perception of the world, which is not the best kind of people to be enlisted, to be recruited. In the army, you have to have a bit different mindset, which I confirm. Yeah.
Тому добре, що я приїхав якраз в цей період, я зміг з ним зустрітися, поговорити, дав йому своє спорядження, тому що у нього спорядження, найкраще, так можна сказати. Тому зараз збираємо на спорядження, дякую вам за допомогу і буду його підтримувати. Найголовніше, що запам'ятайте, це підтримуйте свою рідню, тому що, якщо так подумати, то хто ми взагалі без родини, без сім'ї? Це єдині люди, які вас будуть підтримувати в будь-якій ситуації.
So Max said that he was very happy to arrive to Hostomel at this moment. So he was able to go to Chernihiv and meet his brother in time. And he gave him his equipment, his gear, his helmet, and he says, you gotta take care for your family because generally we are nobody without our relatives, people who are dear to us.
Так. От, може там якісь запитання були, чесно кажучи. Або ти став запитання.
Basically, a lot of people write supportive commentaries to your bro.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
New Mexico Oblast is here.
Oh.
Jennifer writes, sorry, haven't been around for a bit. Had an operation, then got cancelled, so a bit annoying. I hope nothing serious. So we discussed the Gigolo business.
Gigolo business.
We discussed Brandon.
Yeah.
We didn't discuss Brandon much, unfortunately.
We need dance go-go. Yes. Why not? I know one drone, как бы дрончик?
Drone operator.
Drone operator. He nice dance go-go. Maybe you know who is Отче наш.
Yeah. He's my we were talking about this drone operator who's one of my biggest fans because he was the first one who heard my song White Cross before it was finished, and he was absolutely crazy about it. West Downer, New Mexico Oblast, Ukraine wants New Mexico. There was a commentary from some of my American viewers that cracked me up completely. He was like, I live in the US, where's my Ukrainian puppet? that was smart. That was smart. Oh. Starsky has sexy business plans for after the war. Yeah, we have a big future after the war is finished. Iran, Отче наш. Actually, it's his last name, Отче наш.
Отче наш.
Which is awesome.
Може і фотографію скинути, показати його.
The Vanquish. What do Ukrainians think of LGBTQ? What do you think of LGBTQ?
Що я думаю про LGBTQ? Я не думаю про LGBTQ. У мене, в принципі, більше, у мене, як правило, більше проблем, ніж про це думати.
Nobody cares who you are or what you are in Ukraine. And it's not Coca-Cola. It's a Canon Dr. Pepper, of course. And I think it's beautiful. Basically, you can be whatever you want to be in Ukraine, except for being Nazi or Russist. Basically, you can do anything that doesn't violate legislation. That's all. I completely support the dictatorship of the law. I believe we all need this.
Можу, до речі, розповісти про ЛГБТ, як вони у нас з ОПЗЖ співпрацювали.
Там різні організації були.
Да?
Там були і у нас ж є ті чоловіки, які воюють на фронті, кстати.
Да, до речі, так.
Dr. Pepper Oblast. Where is it? By the way. What is gigolo in Ukrainian? It's gigolo. Basically, it's gigolo. So no answer on LGBTQ. Bro, what can I tell you more about LGBTQ? Ukrainians don't think about LGBTQ because we think about many other things. We don't think about your personal life because it's something that only belongs to you. That's all. Can we put Brandon up for auction for sexy time? I think we can do that.
Why not?
I once participated in such auction, like by a date.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know this horrible story. So I had my car towed away that day, but it was kind of funny. Have you tried? Oh, question that you must answer. Have you tried shotguns in trench cleaning?
Ще раз, це...
Коротше, чи використовували наші тактичні рушниці для зачистки, ну, типа тактичні дробовики?
Для зачистки позиції?
Траншей.
Ну, саме наші підрозділи зараз цього не роблять, тому що, ну, в принципі, немає цьому потреби.
So currently our units mostly use assault rifles because there's no need to
Проблема в тому, що...
use shotguns, tactical shotguns.
Да, проблема в тому, що на останньому штурму, на якому ми були, противник кидав свою зброю та біг дуже швидко. Відповідно, краще все ж таки його доганяти з допомогою стрілкової зброї. Ну, тобто на автомат, штурмова гвинтівка, а не саме дробовик.
Max says the last trench clearing that he saw, during this process, basically Russians dropped their assault rifles and ran away. That's why it makes more sense to use to catch them using assault rifles.
Mm-hmm. І найсмішніше така була історія. Ми штурмуємо позицію, ми думали, що там 20 людей, ну, по обстановці, було 20 людей на позиціях, але, на жаль, ми не знали, що там було їх 40. Чому ми не знали? Тому що вони всі ховалися і не виходили з бліндажів ніколи. Тобто, як хочеш, але цього ніколи не дізнаєшся. Ну, момент бою, вони побігли, побачили, що ми наступаємо, побігли, але вони не розбудили своїх побратимів, вони там залишилися. Ми заходимо просто, ну, в теремок і, типу, бачимо, як мужики просто лежать, сплять. Ми їх будемо, кажемо, ну, типу, вставай, пішли з нами на вільну Україну.
So, they were supposed to capture the trench, and they had information that there were around 20 Russians in that trench. And what they didn't know that there were actually 40 Russians, and the reason they didn't know about them was because majority of Russians were mostly sleeping inside in the blindage, in the shelter, most of the time. That's why when they approached the position, those that didn't sleep, they ran away, but then they entered the shelter, and they saw plenty of Russians sleeping, and they were waking them up. Dude, wake up! Ukraine arrived, and they took a lot of prisoners.
Да. Але, на жаль, також одного взяли в полон, але він вирішив побігти собі свою рашку і підірвався на міні. Оце, що, до речі, бум-бум.
Oh, so one of them decided to run away, and while running away, he triggered a landmine, and then happened what we call boom boom. And by the way, here we have Ukraine Matters, our good buddy Georgie. Did you see Georgie's videos? Ukraine Matters.
No, я не бачив. No.
So remember Sasha Puchka, the guy that we've been to the concert.
Yes, of
yeah.
course.
So Georgie and Sasha Puchka, they look like twins.
Ah, oh.
Yeah. That's why we gotta have beer together sometime after the war. It looks like I missed some questions. California Oblast here.
Oh,
Nice. Flamethrowers. Do we use flamethrowers? I know that there was a kind of so Russians usually take flamethrowers with them. They call them шмель, РПО, ручной противотанковый огнемет. We have a lot of those as well because of Russian land-lease, obviously. But I know that starting from like 2017, Ukraine was producing our own flamethrower, which is basically a thermobaric grenade launcher. So that's the kind of flamethrowers. Nothing like walking around with that huge tank with gas behind your back. However, that would look kick-ass, I think. Like Vietnam style.
Згадав ще одну історію, до речі, можу розказати.
Да. Another story from Max.
Теж з полоненим. Ми взяли одного в полон.
One guy was taken as a prisoner.
Він вирішив здатися.
He decided to give up.
Це був білорус.
Belarusian. I know that guy, that one from the video.
No, maybe.
The one with Wagnerites.
No. Yes, Wagner.
Вагинер.
Вагинер, yes. И прикол в чем? Он сам решил сдаться и пошел к нам, навстречу.
So he decided to surrender and he walked all the way to our position.
Мы взяли его в плен и бежим назад до своих позиций, чтобы его забрать, грубо говоря, на нашу точку и отвезти в глубокий тыл.
So they intercepted him in the middle between positions. They apprehended him and they were running back towards their position.
И у нас был боец, хороший парень, но в такой ответственный момент очень сильно злупил. Он уронил оружие возле этого пленного. Взял и уронил. То есть, случайно такое бывает.
So one of the guys, probably he was a bit nervous. That's why he dropped his weapon near this captured Belarusian.
Прямо возле белоруса, да. И мы смотрим на это, буквально секунда, дві-три десь, і бачимо, що цей білорус піднімає зброю і віддає тому бійцю. І каже, побігли б швидше.
So the guy dropped his assault rifle near that Belarusian Wagnerite, the captured one, and like during 2 or 3 seconds they were looking at this, trying to understand what's gonna happen next, and they saw that Belarusian taking this assault rifle and giving it to our soldier, saying, "Here, have it, let's run."
Тобто, і бувають такі. Тобто, він казав, багато чого цікаво розповідав про саме ПВК Вагнер, Вагіна, і був дуже невдоволений рівнем роботи і всього іншого, що вирішив здатися.
Yeah, I read his interview. That Belarusian said that a lot of interesting things about Wagner. He said that he was very unhappy with how they work. Basically, I think that this interview is available online, even in English, because I read it myself. Can you make sunflower wine?
Это у нас какое вино, да?
Чи у нас виготовляють вино типа із соняшника? It's called sunflower oil, actually.
Барматуху, да.
Yeah. Did you give Max a belly rub, like I said by mistake, on your post? Чи я тобі почухав пузіка, як мене попросили. I'm doing it right now.
Дашь еще десятку, и там десятку, и чтоб спустился пониже. Легкие деньги.
It was like a rehearsal for our future gigolo business. Dandelion wine is a thing. What is dandelion wine? Help me Google. Oh my god, I still have picture of Medvedev here. Dandelion wine. Oh! Коротше, вино із... Ні, це не соняшник, це ж... Одуванчик.
Ого.
I didn't know this exists even. What does dandelion wine taste like? This wine has been likened to mead with a hint of honey taste to it. One day. You can make Ukrainian wheat into whiskey. I think so, because Ukrainians made all kinds of beverage, all kinds of things that you can imagine. Okay, Max, you have to talk to people for 1 minute, because I have to wish good night to some special person.
Окей. Що мені сказати? Що розповісти? Так, я почитаю коменти. Так.
Да. Max will read commentaries for me.
Так, Starsky Max, what will you do first when Ukraine will... Що ми зробимо, коли...
What will we do after this war is finished?
Блін. То мене якось навіть не думали про це.
No idea, really.
Що ми разом зробимо? Чи...
What will we do together? Or like generally? We gotta go on a tour, actually. And we gotta meet a lot of people. Because one thing that makes me depressed about this war is that Ukraine Matter says, давайте там швидше, пацани, я вас дуже чекаю до себе після перемоги. Bro, you gotta prepare your liver. You really do. Because we will challenge it big time. One thing that makes me a bit depressed about this war is that even despite we have such a huge and incredible support, literally it's like you're alone. It's like that's the reason why, for example, when I met Nakin Fots Yuri, he instantly became my good friend, because he actually arrived from abroad to help us. You know, it was a fantastic feeling. Oh, Robert Pitt here. Hello, nice to meet you. And generally, it's like when people support you, but you cannot talk to them in person. You cannot like see them here. And this is a bit depressing.
Ну, написали Victory Party.
Victory Party. I support this idea. 100%. Have you seen that movie called The Euro Trip? We gotta do something like that.
Да, тому що Наприклад, я бачив в своєму житті тільки ЛДНР і Крим в дитинстві. Да.
Max says because he never visited other countries. He said, "In my life, I only saw like LDPR and Crimea." Which sucks.
Yes. Я відійду на хвилинку, добре?
Don't forget to flush.
Окей.
Today I wrote this publication about that 19-year-old Russian who was born when Putin was still a president and died while Putin was still president. And again, one thing that I want to share with you, okay, is our feeling towards Russian, like generally, Ukrainians, what Ukrainians feel towards Russians. Every time when we celebrate elimination of orcs, elimination of Russian tanks and stuff, there are people, and I don't blame them, I completely respect them, who say that we shouldn't celebrate it. And even though I can understand your feelings, I doubt that those people can teach us because they don't have the experience that Ukrainians have right now. It is my first war, generally speaking, my first experience like this, okay, since 2014, but still. But many people who have peaceful life and they are abused, like why Ukrainians celebrate deaths of invaders. Those people don't really understand what it means to fight for your survival and protect your family from death. That's why sometimes, even though, again, I understand those people and I respect them, but I don't really think that they can teach us on what we should have, like what we should feel towards Russians. And generally, we all hate them because they want to kill us. Because you cannot compare or equalize attacker and victim. It's two different things. JD says, and I absolutely agree, that it's easy to say nice things, but you can easily say nice things if you never experienced that. It's a kind of hard topic.
Може, давай розповімо, як ми познайомилися, або ти розповідав вже, да?
Max offers to tell you how we met with Max, and it was a very tragic moment for Max.
Так.
Because when you hate your kids, you let them study in the military university. For example,
з 15 років, да.
Since 15 years old. And since 15 years old, this man haven't seen anything good in this life.
Yes, maybe this is sad, maybe. Ми коли? В 19-му році, да, зустрілися? Да, в 19-му році. Перше, що я пам'ятаю, мені кажуть, що мене викликає в штаб, а я тоді був простим молодим офіцером, молодим. І визивають, кажуть, що тебе викликає полковник Куліш, здоровений дядько, лисий, який злий, от, і хоче щось від тебе. А я ж наляканий лейтенант, думаю, хто це такий. Приходжу, і сидить Андрій Я бачу, що там молодший лейтенант. Думаю, що за херня?
So Max graduated from the military academy of the National Guard of Ukraine, and he was transferred to our brigade. And he talked to our deputy commander, who said that he should talk to me because Max wanted to be a press officer. So I said okay, and Max received a call, and he was told that he should go to the headquarters and meet Colonel Starsky, okay? Some big, bald, badass man, sexy as fuck.
And angry.
Yeah. And then he opened the door, and he saw me, and I was like first lieutenant back then. And he was like, I remember this day. He was like, I'm looking for Colonel Starsky.
А я бачу, що ти слухаєш що це, звук вітра, дождя, щось таке.
And I was listening to the sound of rain, you know, when I work and when there's like 1 million tasks and 1 million people that want all kinds of crazy shit from you. One thing to relax is to go to this rainymood.com and listen to the sounds of rain.
І потім ти мені пояснив, що така от є робота, і ти можеш стати як рядовий шутник цілеметалічної оболочки. Можеш виїжджати на схід та знімати, працювати з прес-службою. Ну, я сказав, звісно, окей, класна компанія, значить все норм.
Yeah, so basically I told him that he can become a press officer and he can role play private joker, combat reporter from Full Metal Jacket, and he can travel to the front lines instead of me and do all kinds of interesting footage and things like that.
І отак ми скільки 3-4 роки, скільки 4 роки, да?
4 years.
4 years. От,
So in 4 years,
сусемось.
Max in 4 years скільки ти провів взагалі в цілому на фронті?
Якщо сумів брати рік і 8 місяців.
So in 4 years, Max spent 1 year and 4 months at the front lines. And it was crazy because he graduated from the academy, then he arrived to the brigade. After a month, he GTFO'd to the front lines to the Svetlodarsk Bulge. It was in 2019. 2019 and 2020, it was like first very, very serious deployment when we had casualties on the front. And then Max returned, and then like he was here and there, you know, we spent a lot of time on like around training camps and military exercise and things like that. And in summer 2021, Max went to the training camp. Then they went together to the military exercise with our NATO colleagues. Then there was another exercise. Then they were deployed on the east. And then we met in summer 2022. So basically I didn't see him for a year. Oh, and by the way, here we have a question from Tony Ottensen. How many Ukrainian drones have you shot down?
Скільки дронів українці?
Скільки українських дронів ти збив?
One. With Brandon. Я не знаю. I don't know. Brandon said this story and no.
He did.
Розказував, так? Yes. One drone. Тільки ти збив якийсь дешевий, да? Чи ні?
Та ну, це був Фантом, третій.
А скільки він коштує?
3 штуки.
У мене був з теплаком за 10 тисяч. Ми з Брендоном його тупо фіганули.
So, I shot down a Ukrainian drone in 2017, and it was Phantom, DJI Phantom 3, I believe.
Угу.
But it wasn't very expensive, something around $3,000. While Brandon and Max shot down some crazy freaking drone, which cost something like $10,000 because it had like thermal vision device, thermal camera.
Потім питають, що дрони так швидко зникають.
Yeah, and then basically people ask why we need so many drones.
F.
Press F to
Respect.
pay respect. Yeah. Is it mandatory for press officers to shoot down friendly drones? Чи це, типа, обов'язково для українських пресофіцерів збивати власні дрони?
Так, це в обов'язках написано в наших...
It's mandatory. It's written in our responsibilities.
Так.
Yeah.
Це як у артилеристів, знаєш, там треба понюхати пороху, відмазатись, по жопі щось ляснути. Бачив, да?
Yeah.
От, у нас...
So it's like a good tradition. Artillery guys, after shooting their first shell, they have to sniff that shell case or put some of the powder on the face or something like that. Press officers in the National Guard have to shoot a drone or two.
І найголовніше зробити потім тупо вираз обличчя і сказати, що, ну, типу, так і повинно бути.
Yeah, and then make this poker face and explain that it was like that when we saw it. Which I did, by the way. Oh. So, AJ Lohanska, this one is awesome. Do you have a special UA Drone Slayer patch? We gotta have a patch.
Okay.
Not only patch, but it's like we have to, those fighter pilots, they had when they shot down some enemy airplane, they would they would draw this mark on the plane. I think we should have marks, like drones. What do you get for a drone knockdown? In my case, I was called by several people. First of all, my platoon commander called, and he said, Andrew, how? I said, it wasn't hard. And then he asked, how much? I said, something like $3,000. And he was very, very sad. He said, okay, we will gather money by our whole platoon, because $3,000 for a Ukrainian soldier back in 2017, it was like you could buy a freaking motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
And then my battalion commander called. He said, in terms of your shooting skills, you receive an A, but in terms of tactics, you suck. Basically he congratulated me. What did you receive for shooting a drone?
Як я збив, чи що?
Що ти отримав після того, як збив дрон?
Що отримав? Коротше, ми тоді устроїли перестрілку в центрі Краматорська.
So it was a shooting in the Kramatorsk downtown, basically.
Тому що ми не хотіли цього робити. Нам під'їхали копи, тобто поліцейські.
Because they didn't want to do it at first.
І кажуть, допоможіть нам, будь ласка.
But then cops arrived and asked them to shoot the drone. Тому що типа патрони?
Ні, вони кажуть, надо хороше огневой мощи.
So cops asked the National Guardsman to shoot down the drone They said, guys, we need some firepower. And Brandon and Max
Ну, ми довго не думали, ми...
started shooting.
Yes. И мы плотным огнем, хорошей отдачей начали его сбивать. Мы его сбили.
John had no chance, absolutely.
Yes. І він впав, ми почали радіти. І потім вибіг якийсь ЗСУшник з кустів і каже, хлопці, навіщо?
So then they started celebrating as soon as they shot it down. What did you shoot it down with? AKs? Right?
Yes, окей.
AKs.
Окей.
So they celebrated, and then there comes this very, very sad drone operator from the armed forces of Ukraine. And usually they are very sad, I can confirm that, when the drones fall down. And he started crying, like, why did you do that?
Угу. І ми сказали, що нефіг тут літати без погодження ніякого. І потім ми почали дивитися на копів і зрозуміло, що копи хочуть повісити це на нас з Брендоном. А ми зрозуміли, що треба валити, тому що зараз копи нас пов'яжуть. І скажуть, що це ми вибігли в центр міста, щоб розстріляти, грубо кажучи, дрони.
So this drone operator started blaming Brandon and Max. And when Brandon and Max tried to blame police for this, because basically they started all this shit, the policeman attempted to blame Max and Brandon. That's why those guys decided that it's better to GTFO as soon as possible, which they did.
От. І потім ми поліції дали трохи патронів, ну, типу, щоб вони не плакали. От. І, коротше, далі по газам. А потім ці поліцейські цілу ніч шукали нас і нашу машину по всьому місту.
So they did like in that GTA 4 game, so they ran away. And policemen tried to find them around Kramatorsk.
І ми з Брендоном ховалися вдома та їли піцу.
And they were hiding at home with Brandon, and they had pizza. Question from Travis Student. Do you gentlemen play video games? What do you do in leisure time to not stress? Які ти ігри граєш зараз?
У меня дома из развлечений, как говорится, только... Ладно, не буду продовжувати. Я, взагалі-то зараз не сильно граю, тому що в основному на Сході. Але що я взагалі пограв до війни, так це Red Dead Redemption 2, The Last of Us і, мабуть, цивілізацію граю 6-ту.
So he doesn't play much because of the war, because he spends most of his time at the Frontline, but prior to this he managed to play Red Dead Redemption 2, The Last of Us, and Civilization 6?
6, yes.
Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come
Deliverance.
Come. And що ще? І...
Alex.
Half-Life.
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 If we pretend Bakhmut falls, what do you think will be Wagner's next move? It's a good question. From my level, I cannot tell you much, but I don't think that Bakhmut will fall anytime soon, because, as you probably remember, we were talking about it like 2 months ago. Bakhmut holds, there's enough of troops. The only problem, again, is that Russians use their artillery, and currently they use their aviation intensively in order to destroy buildings. And when there's absolutely no place to have your position, nothing to protect, basically, there's no sense in keeping this area. So That can be the only option, like they did to Rubizhne.
Мгм. О, хочеш розкажу історію про хімічний удар, який я пережив?
Oh. So, Max wants to tell you the story about that chemical explosion that you probably saw in Rubizhne. Remember that huge orange cloud?
Мгм.
So, he was there.
Я двічі його переживав, але от перший найбільш такий показовий, тому що стою я, іде війна, стрільба і так далі, і мене чогось приперло сходити в туалет, як кажуть, помаленьку.
So, he says, first time, because there were two explosions of this kind. So, first time there was a shootout, and he decided to go pee.
І я достаю, як кажуть, своє достоинство і починаю робити свою справу. От. І відчуваю, що я підлітаю і кудись лечу, метрів на 2-3, просто кудись лечу. От в руках не відчіпляю від свого причиндала, лечу в такому положенні, і я думаю, що за фігня, мабуть, я вже мертвий, і падаю.
So, while peeing, there was a big explosion, and he says he was flying and still peeing in the air, and when he landed, he was thinking that he probably died.
Я падаю, відчуваю, що досі тепло в руках, накинув, як кажуть, зброю, тепло в руках, і розумію, що, я ще живий, наче нормально. Беру, все ховаю, встаю, і прямо переді мною, не знаю скільки метрів, важко сказати, переді мною такий здоровенний азотний грибок. Я тоді офігел. Я тоді, мабуть, другий раз обоссався.
Just a second. So he said, as soon as this explosion happened, he said he felt warm very much. Oh my God, there is...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he said he felt warm, and later he realized he was still alive, but when he looked at in the direction of this explosion, basically he saw this. Not this. He saw this.
Mm-hmm. Вот. Да, і я, мабуть, другий раз обіцявся.
And after seeing this, he had to pee for the second time. Unintentionally.
Головна басня даної історії те, що навіть при будь-яких умовах, навіть якщо ви летите на 3 метри вперед від азотного удару російських військ, і ніколи не кидайте зброю з рук. Найдорожче тримайте в руках, щоб все було добре.
Yeah, and the morale of this story, which is very important, when you're flying due to a big explosion, you always have to keep the most important thing in your hands and never let it go. Which I can confirm.
Да.
How did it feel? I mean, did you inhale this shit?
Я відчув, як земля починає перед ударом, земля починає хитатися і становиться желейно, знаєш, якось. Як желе.
Says the feeling was like before this strike, before the explosion, the land was shaking as it was made from jelly.
Потім тебе відриває від землі, ти просто летиш, хрен знає куди. Просто летиш і не розумієш, чи живий ти, чи мертвий, чи взагалі щось відбувається, не відбувається. Ти взагалі, таке враження, що це проміжок між життям і смертю.
Yeah, and then you just fly like a freaking Boeing 747 without realizing if you're still alive or dead. Але, ну, ти вдихав цю херню?
Ні. Коротше, найголовніше, добре, що вся ця херня, вітер дув на противника.
Yeah, so the most important thing that wind was blowing that day towards the enemy. That's why that orange cloud went towards Russians.
Взагалі, якщо азот потрапляє на очі, одразу сліпнеш, а якщо в легені, то отек легких і смерть.
Holy shit. So, if this nitric acid, right? So, if you receive it on your eyes, you can go blind completely, and if this gets into your lungs, basically you die.
Бачу, людей порвала історія.
Та-да. Like a lot of stories like that, like your close call, are usually related to like when you wanna go out and take a leak or like do number 2. I remember 2017 Svetlodarsk Bulge, and I had to throw a bomb, and there was like a toilet, okay, like a wooden toilet. It wasn't armored, of course, nothing like that. And as soon as I started, because it's not easy. If you think that number 2 on the front line is easy, it's wrong, because you have armored vest, you have helmet, you have the like your tactical system with your magazines and everything. It's separate from your armored vest and shit like that. So you also have protection. I had protection for my thighs and crotch, and you have to unwrap yourself before doing that, and it takes some time, of course. So as soon as I did that and started meditating, right, those bastards started shooting at us using SPG. And it's like you hear a whistle, and then it explodes, and then it starts exploding closer to you, because those whistles are like, you almost don't hear them. You hear directly explosions near you. And my biggest fear was to be found in a freaking toilet, like with all those flies sitting on you. It's a horrible death, actually, and it's something that all the militaries are afraid of, actually.
Да. У нас навіть було таке поняття, як, знаєш, сходити в туалет за УБД. Типу, бачиш, от дивись, ти просто біжиш в якийсь, ну, ти ж не будеш там, де люди сплять, і, ну, там, робити свої справи. Ти, коротше, біжиш, хер знає куди, біжиш, тут бомбьошка, стріляють, щоб добіжати до того місця. Там міни летять, там, ну, якщо збоку дивитися, це дуже, дуже цікаво на це спостерігати. От, взриви, міни і все інше. Щоб добігти до туалету, зробити там справу і повернутися назад. Ну, тому що там в місті, там, де ти живеш, там, де хлопці, цього робити не потрібно.
So basically, on the front line, when you need to go and take a dump, it's equal to receiving a veteran's ID, basically. How about using diapers? How about using diapers?
Що?
Ці памперси.
Памперси. Ні, це не по військовому. Я думаю, занадто легко.
Diapers, that can be an option, but at the same time, sometimes you have to spend like several days at the front lines, so you will generally be walking with all your stuff inside of a diaper for like several days. without being able to change it, especially in the winter. Ah. Sniper diapers. I know that snipers use diapers a lot, as well as astronauts. Snipers use diapers. That's true. I saw that because sometimes they have to stay in the same location for like several days without moving, and it requires special mindset. Not everybody can be a good sniper. When Prigozhin speaks, it's like he's vomiting his words out. It's because Prigozhin spent his time in jail, and because Prigozhin is a freaking thug. This is the way they talk, actually. Do they have special sniper diapers? Not in Ukrainian army. I'm not sure about other armies, but you just use diapers for grown-ups generally. Even though they're not very popular in Ukraine at all. Dnipro River is becoming a hotspot. It looks like that. I don't think that I can Peter repellent. Що ти юзаєш як отпугиватель підерів? So I don't think that I can talk much about what happens in the area of Dnipro right now. Wait and you will see. What do you use as a Peter repellent?
Блін, таке питання. Навіть, знаєш...
He has AR-15 actually. Unlike me, I'm an old school officer. He's advanced officer. That's why he has AR-15.
Коротше, була така хитрість у нас. Коротше, ми для того, щоб трохи лякати противника, а ми знали, що він нас слухає, ми, коротше, казали по рації дезінформацію. Інколи ми йдемо туди, ми пересуваємося, зараз накриємо туди, зараз приїде леопард розхерачить, чи ще щось. І, типу, найсмішніше те, що от якраз солдати чи там молодші офіцери реагують на це. Це взагалі щось чимось. Чи зараз туди полетить на цю позицію, вже викликали, там, наприклад, якусь там, не знаю, ракету чи артилерію навели. І вони, блін, аж там по рації аж кричать.
So sometimes they were listening to what Russians were saying on the radio, and sometimes they would and they knew that Russians were listening.
Байрактар ми казали, що...
Sometimes
хайп був такий.
Because they knew that Russians were listening their radio stations too, they were spreading fakes, like for example, in 5 seconds there will be a Bayraktar strike on Russian positions, get ready, you know. And Russians had like hysteria, you know. We were doing the same in Svetlodarsk actually. It was so cool. I tried to mimic different accents. So all of my NCOs in my platoon, they spoke English. And Bogdan, for example, my buddy Bogdan, he was my subordinate NCO. He spoke English not professionally, but still. And another NCO, he was legendary because prior to the war he was a sailor, and he spent 4 months in captivity. He was captured by pirates, like real pirates, near Africa, and he spent 4 months in captivity. And he could talk like African English, like professionally. I cannot mimic that, but he did that like a pro, and that's why we would trick Russians all the time on the radio. We spoke English like all the time, and it was back in 2016, 17 maybe. So it was really cool. Indian accent I tried to do. Yeah, South American, yeah, of course. Um, so it was kind of funny. One time we staged a fake attack on Russian positions, literally using radio because we were bored, and Russians were shooting around them in the night because they were scared like hell. Which was so cool. Who is Brandon? So Brandon Mitchell, you gotta check out his channel. I'm sure you will find him. Brandon is a sexy mofo from Canada who works with hospitaliers on the front lines. He's our good buddy. We never drank together yet. Yet. But let's wait until this war ends. Hello from Sweden. Hope those archers and Gustavs F up those orcs. I know a friend who operates the archer, and he's very, very proud of that. He is, like he says, archer is the best thing ever. But my other friend who operates with his team, the Panzerhaubitzer, he has a different opinion. I don't know. Brandon has a great dog too, and Brandon, by the way, uses his dog the proper way. He makes pictures for fundraisers and stuff like that. That's why it works all the time. Brandon is not Irish, he's Canadian. Brandon is in Sweden now. Yes, it's true. There was a great interview with German Jonas Kratzenberg, who apparently was in Hostomel and Irpin last year around Bucha atrocities. I don't think I know him, unfortunately. There were a lot of people here. Recently, even Mr. Stoltenberg was here. Like 5 minutes away from me. Brandon sounds Irish. I don't know. I wonder if Prigozhin taking no more POWs means that he doesn't have enough supplies for his own troops and them, as well as possibilities to lock them up. Generally, they don't have enough supplies. They have some smelly shit and stuff like that sent by their volunteers from time to time. Some fish and vegetables, but the last Russian ration that I saw on a video consisted mostly from like porridge and holy water. I freaking swear it's in YouTube. But the reason why Prigozhin does that is basically because they're terrorists. If they didn't behead Ukrainians, if they didn't shoot prisoners, and now, as you see, they announced that they will not be taken prisoners. If they didn't do all that, they would not be Russian terrorists. basically. I know I'm Captain Obvious. This is what they do, and this is what makes them Russian. How is Patron the Deminer dog? He does well. I can tell you this. Patron is being sold everywhere in Ukraine. All those, those soft toys. Calendar with pictures of masa and fudge. So this calendar without naked Brandon holding his masa would not be complete. I think so. But we gotta make him very drunk first. Brandon, yeah, and JC, the music man, explains. Brandon is complicated. He's a Canadian from Sweden, working as a medic and combat logistician in Ukraine, but took a short break to Sweden. Starsky, did you have fresh tomatoes or green salad with your meal today? So, Nancy, the problem was I was too lazy to go to the grocery store, and it appeared that I don't have any vegetables at all. But I made French fries, and I had several cans of fish that were sent to me by my relatives from Australia, and they tasted fantastic. They were so good. And because I care about Max, I will treat him with French fries as well. Yeah, Patron plush toys. They are everywhere in Ukraine. You missed the part out where he sounds Irish but is Canadian. I know how Irish sounds like because when I worked in the World Bank in Ukraine in 2008, I had an Irish boss. And it took me like several months to learn English again because it was very hard to understand him. He would like on the meetings he would talk and make jokes and laugh at them, and we would be like, yeah. So, Max, do you have a pet? Домашня тварина є у тебе?
No, but I live with Pasha.
He has no pet, but he lives with Pasha, actually. So,
А він як собачка добрий, багато їсть.
He says he's like a dog. He's his best
І
friend.
преданий.
Very
І любить, коли
dedicated.
за ушко його чухають.
Likes being scratched behind his ear. He will kill you if he sees this video.
Yeah.
Tessa build. Unfortunately, I just got back from the fire brigade. Probably much too late, but the live stream is still great. Thank you for your service. Big support from us. And big respect from us. Okay. Is there a Starsky bobblehead? So I didn't see anything like that yet. But I know that our friends from the Shills decided to make like a t-shirt with baby Starsky, which looks much more prettier, much more cuter than I did back in my days when I was a kid. Oh, is Mask? Are you a pasta man too? Do you like pasta?
Pasta, yes, of course.
Everybody likes pasta.
Everybody like
We're almost like Italians, only Ukrainians. Have you found a new hat for Yemelyan? Not yet. Besides that hat that was created by artificial intelligence, which I believe completely fits Yemelyan. It made him look more natural, I think. Does Pasha like belly rubs? Чи йому подобається, коли його чухать пузо?
Да, але багато. Але у нього волосате, тому краще не рекомендую.
Yes, he does, but it's not recommended to do that often because he has a hairy belly. Which, by the way, is very, very nice because, again, because we will have this gigolo business, I think that our clients will have different like requirements, for people. Baby Starsky, like adult Starsky, had few hairs on his head. Just a few. I took great care of them, but unfortunately then I became a military and I lost them. Макс, тобі потрібен патч Mad Max.
Mad Max. Мне, скорее всего, Dreamscape нужен. Понял. Провал во сне, что-то такое.
Joseph M. Sika, my great-grandfather started the oldest pizza shop in Boston in 1903. Wow. Still family run. You come to the US, you have to come to Boston, and me and my father will take it. Thank you so much. We will keep that in mind. Can you hopak dance? Ти вмієш танцювати хопак?
Ну, якщо go-go, краще go-go.
He dances go-go, okay? I can dance hopak, but not in a sober state, okay? Soberly, I cannot do that. Do Ukraine use service dogs on the front? Yes, we do. And in the National Guard, we even have several canine units that operate.
До речі, про собак. Ми навпаки зараз забираємо собак з передньої лінії, ну, взагалі там які є тварини, тому що вони дуже сильно депресують від цього. І дуже і погано. Ну, плюс це і тактичний, тобто демаскуючий засіб дуже добрий, тому що собака бігає, кричить або ще щось. І найголовніше, от, що я бачив в Рубіжному, те, що, або в Сєвєродонецькій, так, в Бахмуті, що собаки просто сходять з розуму. Тобто на це дуже боляче дивитись. Ми їх забираємо. Я вон кота собі забрав туди в дім, ну, віддав родині.
So Max says that at this very moment we're trying to bring dogs back from the front lines. Why? Because, and we're talking about service dogs, because due to the constant shelling, dogs feel depressed very, very much. And also they can blow up the cover because they either bark or run around. That's why they can be spotted. You know, it's kind of dangerous. But the main reason is that they can go crazy because of all the shellings. Який твій улюблений лідер в цивілізації 6?
Зараз, де я подумаю. Взагалі я граю або за Рим, в основному або Рим, або...
So
Німеччина.
Chester 772. Max usually plays for Rome or Germany. And in Germany it must be Bismarck.
Там как Людвиг, вроде бы.
Людвиг?
Людвіг? Не пам'ятаю, чесно. Барбароса.
Barbarossa?
Барбароса вроді.
Mm.
Наче, я не пам'ятаю.
So it's either Barbarossa or Caesar.
Угу. Я пам'ятаю.
Do the retired dogs become pets? Question from Yorkie Mom. It depends on the mental state of this dog. Some dogs learn to listen to only one owner. Some dogs, again, because they're very different, I can tell because I have Fudge. So some dogs can have like a family after that. They can be adopted. Some dogs, if they have like mental issues, they cannot be adopted, unfortunately. How soon do you think Ukraine can join NATO after war? I think pretty soon. I believe that nobody doubts Ukrainian, like the ability of the Ukrainian army to operate inside multinational brigade or unit, so I believe that it will not take a lot of time. Plus, we will have a lot of weaponry brought by NATO, but again, all this weaponry, all the tanks, all the vehicles that we receive, like we have different kinds of them, different types of vehicles armed with different types of cannons, for example, require different shells. So I believe that we will have to solve such problems. Because generally speaking, armies in separate countries that are members of NATO, they should have standard shells and ammunition, so they can share them, basically. Oh, Dumitru Claudiu, wasn't Barbarossa Austrian? Barbarossa Австрієць.
Я зараз перевірю. Я, чесно кажучи, не пам'ятаю.
We gotta Google. Do you really believe Ukraine could recover Crimea anytime sooner? I believe that we can do that. I totally believe that it's possible, and I believe that if Crimea is taken, the liberation of Donbass will be just a matter of time. Галичанка. Надя Savchenko is her name. Надя Savchenko. Oh my god. Надя Savchenko is a...
Friedrich Barbarossa.
Yeah, so Friedrich Barbarossa is...
Deutschland.
Deutschland.
Ні, тут імператор Священної Римської імперії. Ну там показано, що Німеччина.
Holy Roman Empire was basically Deutschland. Эмиссари, шалом, шалом. Рад видеть. So... What else do we have here? I believe that in 10 minutes we can wrap up today's show. Because we are torturing you for like almost 2 hours already.
Це чудово, тому що в тебе просто жахливий стілець. Я співчуваю тим людям, які приходять до тебе на стрім.
Oh, Галичанка is talking about Nadia Savchenko. Nadia Savchenko is
О, Господи. Да.
We gotta tell you this story. So this is Nadia Savchenko, and in 2015,
15, 14, вона
So,
воювала.
she was a Ukrainian military, and she fought, I believe, in 2014 or 2015. She was captured by Russians. It's like when Russians were saying that there are no Russians in Donbass, but she ended up in the Russian jail. Somehow, mysteriously. And she spent some time there. She lost a lot of weight, I believe. Or not really. But she got released from jail, and in the beginning, she was like a local hero. But later, people realized that she went a bit nuts. I don't blame her, because she went through Russian jail, but she went kinda nuts. Then she started saying crazy shit. Amanda, I'm so happy you two did this stream. Yeah, I'm very happy that I finally brought Max. Because we don't do that often. And actually today I realized we don't even have like a picture together. That's why we have to fix it right now. Oh Jesus. Oh right. All right. He even has like picture with Fudge, but not with me, because you don't make pictures with your boss, even though he's sexy. Okay, guys, I believe that it's a good opportunity to say goodnight to you. Thank you so much for your questions. It was pleasure answering them and recalling all those crazy stories. We have a lot of them. So stay safe. Thank you for supporting Ukraine, and we'll see you in the next one. Say something.
Щось мені сказати, так?
Да.
Я сподіваюся, що на наступному стрімі я вже буду більш розмовляти на англійському.
He hopes that in the next stream he will speak a bit more.
Треба вчитися, бо іноді мені здається, що я зливаюсь з цим фоном, і скоро буду зникати.
Because he says, I gotta speak more because I merge with the background and eventually I will disappear completely.
Дякую за вашу підтримку. Дякую,
Thank you for your support.
Thank you for your support. І дякую, що ви у нас є, тому що ви дуже сильно підтримуєте, особливо мене, коли я на сході, і мені дуже важко, і я читаю ваші коментарі під відео, і мені дуже тепло. Дякую.
And thank you for being out there for us, because every time Max reads your commentaries while he's at the front lines, he feels very happy.
А також показую бійцям, вони теж дивляться. Щоб...
Oh, and he also shows your commentaries to our soldiers as well. That is very important.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, see you later, and thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Operator Starsky.
And Max.
Mad Max.
Mad Max.